For most woodworkers, a card scraper is pretty handy. But if you build guitars, a sharp card scraper can be one of the most powerful tools in your shop. We use scrapers to level braces, clean up glue lines, true up binding edges, refine curves, and even scrape the sides to the correct thickness in order to bend them. But none of that works unless your scraper is properly sharpened. And if your scraper is just making dust like this, it's time to sharpen it. What really makes a scraper cut so well is not a fine, precise edge like you'd find on a traditional cutting tool, such as a chisel or a plane. A well-sharpened scraper has a small burr or hook on the edge that we create by manipulating the metal on the face and edge of these corners. This is my method to sharpen a scraper using a metal file into a tool that cuts cleanly and reliably. The first thing we're going to need is a burnishing tool. You can use a tool specific to burnishing like this one, or in a pinch you can use a tool with a round shaft like this one, and ideally it's harder than the steel on the scraper. If not, it'll work okay, but it'll scratch your tool up pretty badly and leave a lot of gouges on it. Imagine this is the end of your scraper. What we're doing is cleaning up these corners. So these corners are what are going to eventually have the burr or the hook on them. And right now, even a new scraper is going to be a little fuzzy on the corners. It's going to have some gunk on it. And an old one, especially if it's had an old burr and it's just dull, it's really going to have a bunch of stuff on the corner. That corner and this corner. And what we want to do is clean up these corners. And what we're doing with the burnisher is rubbing it on this face and making this corner smooth. And so we're actually pulling a little bit of material out onto here. This is of course very exaggerated, but we're pulling that material off on the end. You can do the short ends if you really want to, but I just use both of these long edges. We want to use the burnisher to flatten these corners out. You can just run it over the edge here until it feels smooth. It should only take a few passes. It'll go from rough to smooth really quickly. We get the other side. All right, that took care of it. Flip it. And the fourth corner. And then our next step is to clean up this very narrow edge of the scraper once each of these four corners is made flat on the face. There are two ways that you can do this next step of cleaning up those edges. The first and the quickest method is the one I'm using in this video. We're going to use a file to clean up that edge. The second method takes a few minutes longer and uses diamond plates. I made a completely separate video for that one. If you have diamond plates, take a look at that other video and see if you think it might work for you. I use the plates to hone the edges and get a little cleaner burr or hook. A lot of people don't have those diamond plates, so a file is just fine. I've used the file method for about 20 years with excellent results, but the cleaner the edge is, the cleaner the hook will be, and the cleaner the hook, the better surface you'll end up with. What I'm doing when I clean up these edges, and it's hard to see on a video, but there are a lot of old scratches, some oxidation along these edges on both sides that I need to clean up. So we're going to use the file. I start by putting it in the vise about halfway to a third of that scraper exposed. Much more than that and it becomes pretty flimsy and kind of difficult to work on. Just put the file on top of the scraper and I hold it on both sides to try and keep that as parallel to the edge as possible. Then I can also rest my knuckles on the bench and the vise, and it makes it a lot more stable. When you file this, you can feel it pretty rough at the beginning, and as those old burrs and nibs start to fall off and file off, it becomes a lot smoother. And that looks pretty good. I'll flip it over. Same thing on the other side. And hopefully that shows up on the camera, but that is pretty shiny. That's exactly what I am looking for. That's pretty clean. Now we're ready to move on to the part where we make the actual hook. Now for this next step, I'm going to use the burnisher, much like we did before. And I'm going to press those corners. I'm going to use more pressure this time though, because I actually want to try to pull some material over that edge. And I'm going all the way edge to edge. About a dozen passes or so should do it. Flip it over. Corner 3. And the last one. I can feel that I've pulled a little bit over the edge, so that's good. Here we are at my crude drawing of the edge of a scraper again. What we've just done is we've pushed material from the corner up, and so we've got like this little spike happening. And if we've done it right, that's kind of what it looks like. Now in the next step, we're going to take the burnisher and press this down and try to get these little spikes to come out off to the side. I've got the scraper back in the vise, and again, mine's pretty low, so that really only a half to a third of this scraper is sticking out. Then I can slide right off the end without a whole lot of trouble. If it was much higher, the scraper would flex quite a bit, and the higher it is, the more likely you are to actually run your hand into the side, the edge, or into one of these corners, and that can be fairly nasty. I'm going at this flat. About a dozen or so passes should work just fine. And you might even feel these edges becoming a little bit rough, and that's okay. It'll go from feeling smooth to becoming a little bit rough as you kind of get that hook developed. And if I feel along the edge, yeah, I can feel it's definitely pulled some material over. If we've done this right, then as we have flattened this edge out with the burnisher, we've got these little spikes off to the side now. And what we're going to do in the next and final step is we're going to angle the burnisher just a few degrees this way and then this way. And then what we're going to be doing is pulling that hook over so it goes back just a little bit. And that hook on either side is what is actually going to cut. I'm going to put an angle on it, just a few degrees, like 3 to 5 degrees is what I'm shooting for. Yeah, and I can feel that edge on there much better than the other side. And then I'm going to tilt this back this way. And that should do it. And we flip it over and do the same thing to the other side. Flat. Now, slight angle. And an angle the other way. Yep, I can feel that pretty pronounced hook on both sides. Now we're going to see how it cuts. Now that we're finished, you should feel a nice hook on all four corners. And each hook is going to have its own personality. And you'll have to play around a little bit with the angle of attack to find where exactly that hook is. But once you find it, hopefully you're seeing something like this, where it's almost a miniature version of a full curl that you would see off of a well-tuned plane. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to see. Perfect. One last tip before I finish. When your scraper stops cutting well and really all you're getting is dust, go ahead and just put it back in the vise and use your burnisher on it again without going through the filing. That may get you another full round of use out of it. That is how I sharpen and use a card scraper. Thanks for watching. You know the drill. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you can, and we'll see you in the next video.